Hello, everybody. I'm so
Hello.
glad to be here for the Business Lab. Um, I wanted to first give you a little bit of an introduction before I move onto the topics for today, because I don't think I ever told you this, but my original idea for these labs, I almost wanted to call them Nurturing Your Destiny labs. And the reason the reason I wanted to call them that was because there are really not that many areas in a human life where we need to have a certain balance in order to be happy. I used to think when I started coaching that there's so many different kinds of problems that people can have, and I would never be able to tackle them all. But really, it's the area of health and well-being, be it physical or mental. There's the area of relationships, romantic, friends, being part of a community, parenting, if one has children. Then, of course, there's safety, whether it's financial safety or living in a place where you feel safe. And of course, there's work. And some programs mention things like doing things for fun, etc. That's true, but that's just the flavor. It's the mood of life. But I do find that one of the things that a human being needs in order to be happy also is having a sense of purpose, having a sense of clarity for what we are here to do in this life. And for many of us drawn to this profession also, there's this need of contributing to the well-being of the world in our own unique way. And that's what I mean by nurturing your destiny, that kind of destiny. And you were all drawn to GTR for a reason. Some of you want to focus exclusively on that. Some of you want to add it to the other things that you're doing. And I really would love the Graduate Club as a whole to be a way of supporting you in nurturing your destiny in this sense. Now, this year we're doing the Soulful Business Labs, but really, the more we do things here in the Graduate Club, the more I realize that it's the whole being. And the business is part of it, but it's the whole of you that needs to be nurtured and nourished, and it's part of your destiny. So I guess the next year I'll either call them that or just Graduate Club circles, and we'll focus a little bit on everything and the business and marketing included. Now, this year in the Graduate Club, we focused on two main areas to support you. And it was the well-being workshops and getting some more education on how to further support your well-being to feel better as a practitioner, but also we tailored these classes and workshops so that you would also learn skills to support your clients in maintaining their well-being so that they can prevent that future de-traumatization and so their healing is sustainable. And then there was this other part, business and marketing. Now, the materials that we've been adding to the Soulful Business section originally came from my program. Its original name was Now What? And that was because a lot of the students that were coming from the previous coaching school where I taught were in this position of, okay, I got the training and now what? And before I founded the GTR Institute, they had the skills, but they had no way of presenting them to the world. So it was really originally a program to help you create your own signature system. And there are still many of you who want to do that, who want your own unique packages. Some of them will have GTR as part of them, some of them won't. Now, as much as I could think of things, I tried to add into the Graduate Club the things that are kind of done for you. So the microsite and the social media posts to get you started, and the free gift, etc., so that you don't have to spend energy on the things that you don't really need to spend so much energy. Now, in today's topic, we have bonuses and freebies, and we have pricing your offerings, and those are relevant whether or not you have just the microsite or whether you do other things of your own. The microsite makes it easy for you in that everything is there already and you have the ability to change it or not to change it. And I'm going to go through it just so it's clear for you what I'm talking about. So let me actually switch to one of the microsites now, and we'll just go through it. I'll start with the freebie. Let me just see if I have it open. Yes, there we are. Sharing. And of course, if you have questions along the way, please do let me know at any time. Okay, so there's Terrence's microsite. And here at the very top, you see the gentle trauma assessment. Now, that's a free gift that's on the microsite as a default free gift. You can change it if you'd like, but you would have to set it up on your own outside and then just deliver us the little table that captures the email opt-ins. But for now, the way it's set up, if somebody clicks on this, it scrolls down to a section that says a gift for you, and they can get to the gentle trauma assessment, which is basically a client-friendly version of the holistic well-being check-in. It's the same, it's just a better, I think, marketing language, easily understandable. So that's the free gift. You don't have to figure it out. It's there for you, but if you want something different, there's that option as well. Now, when it comes to bonuses, let me just find that section. Here we are. Okay, so the way things are preset is that there are these three packages, option 1, 2, and 3. They differ in the number of sessions, but also bonuses. You can leave the bonuses the way you are, but let me just go through what is there already. So the SOS package has the bonus of unlimited email access. The second one, Core, has email access and a tune-up session. And then this third one also has another one called the How the Body Speaks to You Healing Manual. Now, what I meant here, again, this is, you don't have to figure anything out from scratch. This can be the body intuition blueprint. This can be a part of the body intuition blueprint. And just know that from the materials that you get access to, you can create bonuses out of them. If you want to use them as they are, just put the trademark of Gentle Trauma Release Institute, and then you can do it any way you like. In fact, the next month, we have the topic of presenting beautifully. So Janina will walk you through Canva and show you if you want to, for example, change colors on some of these materials, how to do that, or if you want to import your own fonts and things like that, you can, of course, do that. But my point is that unless you want to, you don't have to create anything new. You already have so much. Now, the thing with bonuses is, and I'll just go back to you for a second here, just so you see me. There's a whole template, right, a whole handout on freebies and bonuses that is already uploaded in the Graduate Club. But perhaps the thing I would like to highlight when it comes to bonuses and is why you want to do bonuses, why you want to have them. Well, number one, most of us already expect them. When we buy something, there's usually a bonus, and not having a bonus would feel like something is missing. Second, I think it's also so good for you because I find that every time I think of what to make a bonus in the offering, I realize how much value already is in the main offering. It just gives me a good feeling of going through, okay, what am I going to pick as a bonus? There's already so many goodies in there. The third aspect of it, and that's the way I love to use bonuses, is to highlight a feature that is of big value, but without you highlighting it as a bonus, the client might not understand that there's so much value in it. So for example, of course, the email access to you or the Facebook messages in between sessions, they're of huge value to the client because, of course, they have access to you all the time. There's time you put into reading their messages and thinking about what they're asking you, what they're sharing and how to respond. So that's something I always want to highlight. That's a huge bonus. If you're doing an additional session, now the one that is in the default bonus section is the tune-up session after completing the program. Again, highlighting it because real-time, one-on-one, that's huge value. Now, another way of using the bonus is, I don't think I talk about this in the handout, so I'll say it now, is if you want to perhaps add a feature to whet your client's appetite for something new that you also created or something different. So for example, Kathy does Reiki. So Kathy can include as one of her bonuses a Reiki session for the client. And they'll love it. And perhaps she has another healing package that focuses, let's say, mostly on Reiki, or maybe there are other modalities in the healing package. And so the client understands that Kathy not only does GTR, but there are other ways of working with Kathy now that they've let go of a big chunk of trauma. That's another way of using it. A good example also would be, now that I'm thinking about it, we started offering to the main GTR training students some of the well-being workshops. Now, it had two main reasons. First of all, so they get used to taking care of themselves as practitioners, and that theme will continue then in the grad club in a bigger way, but also so they understand what is waiting for them in the graduate club, that there's so many more goodies that they can have access to, and this is one of them. And the final reason, and perhaps the one that is mostly promoted in the marketing circles, is when you want to put pressure on the client. I don't like to think about bonuses in this particular way, but I am mentioning it because you will hear about it. That's not how I love to approach bonuses. It's more like, how can I make this more appealing to you so that you understand that this is good for you? But the classic marketing philosophy would be either put a time limit. So if you enroll or buy by a certain time, there's a bonus you get. Or if a certain number enroll, there's a bonus you get. The only tweak to this that I find ethical in using, the previous one, I'm not so sure about that, is when I want to create commitment. So to give you an example, let me just click on a page that you haven't seen yet because it's not public. We're going to divide the GTR training into 3 different levels. I think I mentioned that at some of the virtual office hours, and different bonuses will go with them. Also, depending if someone just takes level 1 or if they commit to level 1 and 2 or 1, 2, 3. Now, the reason why I like the bonuses here is because of the commitment, not so much the pressure, but just so they can feel comfortable diving in. So here's what it looks like on the page. Let me just share again. Okay, so we were here. Enroll there. Sorry, it's going to load a little bit. Okay, there we are. So, okay, let me show you this table. So the first level, there's a certain cost to it. If they get the level 1 and 2 bundle, there's a 500 saving and some additional bonuses. If they get the level 1, 2, or 3 bundle, there's a $1,000 saving plus the bonuses. Now, while I'm here on this page already, the bonuses are such a good way even to visually highlight the value of your offering. You don't have to have a big website like this. You can do this in a PDF with your offering, or even talking about it. Let me just scroll down a bit. So I created here a section that is just about the bonuses. Let me demonstrate some of the principles that I talked about here. So bonus number 1, get ready to use client materials. Okay, like this. Ready to use client materials. So why did I pick this as a bonus? Well, it was already naturally in the program, but I wanted to highlight it because this is of huge value. Those are the audios and the different handouts that people are going to get. So why not highlight it, since people usually want it. I don't know why it read it so badly. Let me do this once again because the letters are a bit weird. Okay, must be Zoom. Still looking at it. Okay, I hope you can see it still. Now, packaged offerings. One of the things people are often unsure about is, will I be able to present my work? And therefore, packaged offerings rather included in the training as a bonus. Fair pricing workshop, again, something that people are usually wanting to know, how am I going to price my services? So there's that. I could still have it part of the training and not highlight it, but it would be a pity not to use it because it's the answer to some of the doubts or questions that people sometimes have. Unleash Your Gifts mini course, Ultimate Glide Toolbox. So these are the workbooks for the different levels on the empowerment spectrum. So those are the bonuses, but that's for the GTR training. I just wanted to show you how much fun you can have and feel good about your product or service just looking at the bonuses that you have. Now, any questions regarding the bonuses? Let me just go back to you. Okay. Yes, Kathy?
Oh, wow. I love bonus 6. I love bonus 6. That's a wow, just a wow. Really good.
Which one was that?
That's the one with when you go to the levels of consciousness or empowerment, when you're in fear, desire, offering.
Oh yeah, the workbooks?
Yeah, the workbook.
Okay, yeah.
That really, yeah, that was like, wow.
Nice.
And just to remind you, you can also use those as a bonus. So for example, you're creating your own packages, 1, 2, 3. One of those books can be a bonus, or the next level can have 2 or 3. And also, just we're going to talk about copywriting in 2 months from now. So I'll talk about that as well. And I personally love to always describe every module in terms of what results will be achieved in that module, but also the materials of that module. So that's why I love the handouts, and they have clear, appealing names to them, so that it's not just you having to explain yourself every time to the client. They see how much there is in every step of the way.
Amazing. Yeah.
Okay. So that's as for bonuses. The freebie is there. And then when it comes to pricing, again, on that microsite, there are some default pricing options. You can absolutely change them. Now, in that fair pricing workshop, I talk about 3 models of pricing. There's the employee model, the market model, and the outcome model. Just to quickly summarize, the employee model, you look at how many hours you really put into every client or into every product. Usually when you put yourself through the employee model and actually count all the hours, you realize that it's a lot of hours. And so it's always good to put a minimum hourly rate that you would give to yourself doing work. So it can be $50, it can be $100, it can be $150. I usually don't go under $100 per hour, because I know that even if I count all the hours, it still will be more hours in the end. So that's number one. The market model is, you're basically looking at what your colleagues are doing. How are they pricing their offerings? The prices that they go with can be a very good indicator of what the market is ready for. The challenge with the market model is you sometimes don't know how much they're really enrolling, selling, or how much discounts are they giving on the side. The third one is the outcome model. That one is not a given. It's not a fixed number of hours. It's not looking at what somebody else is doing, but trying to put yourself in the shoes of your client and thinking, okay, how much would the transformation be worth to them if you were to put a price tag on it? Challenge, of course, with this one is that we're not used to put a price tag on help a lot of times, on supporting someone. And by the way, all of this is there's a video class and there's a template also. So I'm just highlighting some points that I made there. I find that in the end, for me personally, I always have to start with my gut. And then I take myself through all three models: employee, what is the market doing, and what would be the outcome worth to somebody. And just the way you learned how to use your body intuition in the body module, you can absolutely use it for pricing your offerings. The truth is, my process is I first use my body to figure out what the pricing, where my body is taking me, and then I consult with somebody else. And as I speak about those insights to that other person, I'm able to spot another layer of truth. Is what I'm saying ringing as the truth? So there's that. One more concept that I will talk about here, and then I'll go to you and sort of check in where you're at with nurturing your destiny, be it with the bonuses, freebies, or pricing, or anything else for that matter. I like to use the GPS, the gradual pricing strategy. And it doesn't matter where you're at in the process of starting your business, running it already, etc. The first stage is always the confidence building stage. And that's where you want to offer your services at a price that feels comfortable for you. And it's okay, even if it's a price or a rate that you will not end up with eventually, but it's good enough for you for now that you can actually speak it when the client asks you, or share it. And the idea is get going, finding and building the confidence in you of offering your service to another person. And if you mean to run this as a business, to find that confidence and take it from there. Sometimes I find that there's this pressure on coaches and healers and people in our profession to always want more and more and more, and just push on that marketing side of things to see how far you can go. Of course, you don't have to do it that way. And also, I want to say that at this very first stage, there may be other objectives that you're trying to reach other than just making money off of your services. For example, you may need testimonials. You may need to see if you created a package, if some tweaking is needed. Is there something that needs to be added to your program, or taken from there, or something that would be very helpful for your client? So there's that. And building your confidence is priceless. So if that gets you out of the door into the world of actually doing this, it's fine to go with a lower price in the end, in the beginning, sorry. So in the next stage, you realize that, okay, take a breath. You're ready in this place of, okay, I'm doing this. How can I now make it so that it's more balanced, so that I now know that it's good for them. I'm doing good work. I have the confidence. And now how can I make it work for me a little bit more? And then finally, in the third stage, which is the adjustment, you just take a look at your rates from time to time, see if they still feel good to you, or, that feeling might just creep in from time to time. I remember that at some point with the GTR training, it just started to feel like there was such an imbalance between what the price of the training was and what was in it. that I can honestly say it wasn't the motivation of I could get more for this than I'm getting. It was the feeling of people would almost not come because there was such a disproportion between the getting and the giving. So that's when we raised the prices, and actually we had the most students enrolled at that time. So if there are any questions, sharings, I would love to hear them. And also, I would love to touch base with all of you just to see how your destiny is doing on all fronts, work or personal, and how we can support you today. Kathy started rocking and soothing. Are you getting ready?
I'm always rocking and soothing. So go ahead, Ramona, and then I'll go after you.
Well, first, I just want to say I'm so glad I took the training when I did. Like, just, I went with my gut and I'm like, oh, I'm here. I've got the certification. I've got it. I didn't wait. I'm just so grateful. Oh, I had a quick question about the website. So if Tracy's not fulfilling that role, will I be doing that with you?
So first of all, if you have the instructions book filled in, please send it to Lucy. There's a high likelihood that I'll do it. I'll probably eventually train Yanina, but for now she has so much on her plate that you'll probably get me. So you decide whether that's good or not. If you want me, wait a little bit. If you want me, I will be more than happy to do that. I designed that anyway. The next step would be, if you're in the process of building it, I know Donna, you have finished, but just fill in all the sections that you want in. Not all the sections have to be there. I just made it super kind of comprehensive to really give your client the chance to get to know you, which is the purpose of the website. So I'm just going to add in the copy and the pictures that you sent. Once that is there, I'm going to let you know, Ramona, can you take a look at it, see if there are any typos, mistakes, anything that you want to change? You get back to me with what you found so that I can double check and correct those, and then that's it.
Okay. So I'll share the other thing I'm working on is I've been kind of playing with, I'm going to do a beta test of a group program, because there's the gentle trauma release, and then it's like, okay, well, what else, right? Like, they're not like done with life, right? And there's different levels to how they look after themselves, feel empowered, whatever. So I'm launching a beta test of a group program that addresses empowerment, mindset, habits, activity in one umbrella. And so I'm going to load up the value at the front end, because I'm like, this is beta test, you're going to get more from me right now and at a better cost, right? So I'm still playing with the cost. I haven't quite figured it out, but just to share, like, that's what I'm cooking up right now.
Yeah. Did you just want to share it, or did you want to?
Yeah, just sharing what I'm doing, like,
okay.
just from what I'm witnessing of what women need. And I think some women kind of need to start somewhere a little bit, get a better understanding of themselves, see a hope for something better, or get to know me a little better, because I'll be educating about trauma within this group. And they may recognize, maybe I do need to do some trauma work. Whereas before, like, oh no, I'm fine, right? Right.
Yes.
So
Yes.
anyways, just to share, that's kind of what I'm working on right now.
Yeah, by the way, a good way of perhaps encouraging the people who are not sure if they need trauma is, if you have clients that are okay with you using the sessions that you recorded, sort of like what I had done in the training, that is a good permission for those people who are not sure if they have trauma, and knowing that you are so skilled in helping somebody else let go of it. And let alone, oftentimes people think of trauma as this one thing, and they have it as well. They just don't know that it's trauma. So if you have some case studies, or maybe just bits and pieces, doesn't have to be the whole thing. It can be, the first part of the session where you take history with the client and the problems or the memory, and then just go to the end of the session where they're sort of like, all is well. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Testimonials too.
Testimonials, absolutely. And I do find, when it comes to the format of these programs, that what we have even in GTR and here, this format of there's a lot of material sitting somewhere in a student area, and then there's this live element. It seems so ideal for different personalities because there are many of you who really want to be part of a group and community and come here live and sit together with others. But there are also many who either never show up for the live events or sometimes show up, but they still observe and watch closely. There's this one student who, when she was writing her assignments, it was absolutely detailed. And she says, I'm observing you every minute in the sessions and in the virtual office hours, and here's what I've learned. And it was pages. And so even though she's not coming to the live events, there's still so much she does with the live events, even though she's not participating. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you can, and if you know how to technically pull it together, like you have a student area, and then
Yeah, I'll keep it pretty simple, but here's stuff you can access. Here's some homework or some progressions, and then here's me, right? So I'm going to show up live and just, you need that human connection, not just a course off somewhere, I think, for this kind of thing. So, yeah.
And with the materials that you'll be sharing, are you going to be sending it via email or some
I'm going to post it. I'm going to do a pop-up group and have files, and then email contact to let people know.
That's absolutely a good way to start for a beta.
Yeah, just to test it. Yeah.
Yes, because these other platforms, like what I have at ClickFunnels, now I'm transferring to Kajabi. You don't need them in the first stages of building.
No, I won't right now. Yeah.
No. Okay. Good. So you know that. Okay, wonderful.
Kathy, how are you doing? Beautiful.
That's awesome. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I had my function this past Friday where, ladies, I spoke in front of 300 people. I introduced 2 government officials, the mayor of Vaughan and an MP, member of parliament for our area. So I think my whole family was a lot more nervous than I was. I can't believe how calm I was. I was like, is this really happening? Is this what being like de-traumatized means? It's like, why am I this calm? But I was. And, you know, it was like really, oh my goodness, how do I say this like in the most humble way? It was very easy for me. So it was like really, really, really cool to do. It was exhausting because yes, I did the opening speech, and then I had to MC the whole evening. And I don't know, so I have a definite no moving forward in the future. I will not be doing the MCing because it is very exhausting. And who knows where it'll go from there. So that's really good. I'm really happy for myself there. And I think, like I said, my family was a lot more nervous for me. So having said that, that was like a big accomplishment and a hurdle in the sense that I never thought that I would be doing that. And I think that being in this group, in this place, in this space has created this confidence that, you know, I always questioned my confidence, but it's just, it brought forth really maybe my essence. Yeah, I don't know how else to put it, but again, in the most humble way I say it.
You know, Kathy, I don't know if you know this, but your video, the one with the clenched fist, I mean, I edit some footage to, you know, enhance your story, but then mostly there's you talking. I think it has the most views of all the videos on the GTR Institute channel that are public. It has almost 800 views, and there are some comments too. So that's way more than any of the other videos. And I'm telling you this because I do find, and that's like, you know, going back to the nurturing your destiny topic, and we'll do so much more with this the next year. I can already see that this is what will be needed. Is, you know, when something is part of your purpose, it does come easy.
I guess so, because I mean, as a little girl, I'd pretend I was preaching the gospel. I don't know, but it was like, it just felt like it was just, you know, I was extremely calm. I don't know how else to put it. I was just like really in a good. I mean, I did my meditation, I set out my intention, and I called in the good energy, all of that. But I was just very, very calm. So that was like, you know, a part of something I may consider in a different way, So that, like, nurturing that part of myself, I can't believe I did it. I think everyone else was like, I can't believe how calm you were. I can't believe how it just flowed. So to me, that was like, great, Kathy, you did it. The other thing what I'm doing is I'm really enjoying, and like you, Ramona, I'm going, oh, like, thank God I joined when I did. I cannot tell you enough, ladies, like, doing this work, what it's done for me. Again, I say it in the most humble way, and what it does for the ladies that I work with. The joy that it brings me when I'm receiving, like, on Messenger, on WhatsApp, or all these, I can't thank you, and all. I want to print some of them off and just it's like, wow, this is what a gift this is, because the gift is in watching women heal. That's the gift. And so if I was to calibrate or quantify, like, what is my rate? I don't know what my rate is right now, because I'm so aware of what's going on economically in the world. I want everyone to at least have access. So I was offering in the beginning, I'm going to say my rate, it was like $135, but I brought it down to $111. I thought 111, you know, it's a beautiful number. And then I have, like I said, a couple of single moms, and one she could hardly afford, but I'll just say, give me what you can. If it's $20, give me, if whatever it is, and then I'll give her freebies here and there. So I never want her to not feel that she can have support. And I've been working with her for a long time. So, you know, that's what I'm doing. So right now I'm nurturing my practice, my private practice. And I'm loving it. And I'm loving it. And now I'm starting to think about, oh yeah, I would love to do a little course. I think I mentioned it on the other class with Tracy, like, working through the chakra system. So bringing, like, you know, what we hold in the chakras and healing through the chakras. I know so many people have done it, but I'm going to Kathyfy it. I'm going to bring it in. Like, that's what resonates with me. Quantum healing, energy healing, Reiki, GTR. And this is where I'm at. Like, I'm feeling really good.
You know, and speaking of those bonuses, Kathy, or anything, if you haven't created it yet, it could be a bonus. It could be, you can either offer a smaller version of it to begin with as a bonus, or you can offer first chakra healing session as a bonus, something like that. And I love doing that even when the program is not completely complete, because it, you know, that responsibility kicks in. You just get it done once you've promised that to somebody.
Absolutely. And the other thing I've done is, because I've had a website suspended now for 2 years, and it's just too much going on. So you know what? I said, I'm hiring someone. I'm going to let them do the work, because realistically, there's a lot always going on. For whatever reason, there's a lot on my plate. And you know, sometimes you have to spend some money to get the help, because realistically, I cannot do it all. So I've hired someone, and, you know, and I got a really good discount because I was introduced through someone else who I coached, who introduced me. So that's the other thing, is the networking within my community, because you go to yoga. And then, you know, I've signed up to go to a retreat in June for a horse yoga retreat. There's going to be other healers there. So it's just, you know, that networking with people and word of mouth. So that's been working for me, the word of mouth.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just to state the obvious, Kathy, when you found yourself calm and just doing a good job with the speaking, it doesn't have to be that your destiny is to be a speaker or something else. But at least I hope you can see that you will have no problem doing videos or presenting yourself when needed on the social media. Or, you know, your voice has such an amazing prosody, the tempo that you speak with, neither too slow nor too fast. You speak very clearly, and it's a very calming manner. And of course, you present well. I mean, just looking at what is around and behind you, I think your presentation skills are excellent. So,
Joy, peace, love. I have joy, peace, love.
yeah. So if that were sometimes a doubt in your mind, don't. You were blessed with a gift of speaking in a way that captures attention. You can make someone feel grounded and safe through your voice alone.
Again, ladies, not to, I've had one client in particular, she goes, I'm falling asleep, not because you're boring, because you're so calming. So it's like, okay, I'm thinking maybe I got to speed it up a little more, but yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. And of course, the skill is to learn to use that voice in different ways. So when you do GTR work, you will probably be in your natural realm, but then sometimes when you need to put the more coaching hat on, you can speak a little bit faster.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's so interesting. One more thing, and then I'm going to let beautiful Donna speak. Um, it's so interesting because one of my taglines, when you first graduate from SWAT, I'm going to empower you to speak your empowered truth and liberation. And that was the one thing that I always had an issue with, is speaking my truth. Behind closed doors, I could speak to my people I felt safe and comfortable with. But it's so interesting. That's the one thing that I wanted to teach. And I had a difficult time with it. So yeah, it's honestly, from the bottom of my heart, like this GTR, what you've created, I mean, Isabella, amazing.
Thank you, ladies, for sharing that, because I do feel that my purpose is nurture people like you. So all the things that I've learned along the way that were not technically speaking, coaching or healing or psychology, like doing websites and designing templates and all that, I always knew that I need to hone it to help you, not so much because I want to become a web designer. That's not my dharma at all. But I think we managed to find a way here to support you in ways that you really can focus on what you want to do. And so thank you for sharing with me that's what you've been
And
feeling
this
and
is
getting.
filled out as well. My thing is filled out as well. I just have a few things to write in my own copy, but it's here. So as soon as
Perfect.
after tomorrow, I feel like after tomorrow, I think after tomorrow I can breathe. And then I've already said it's in my calendar. I finish this. I just have to get through tomorrow. My husband's going in for a stent. He's getting a heart procedure done. So after that, I'll be fine. And I'm gonna
Do you ladies, Ramona and Kathy, do you have email collecting provider like MailChimp or Aweber or something like that?
no, not yet. Not
Okay.
yet.
Okay, so we'll work through that. You can just deliver the copy, but that is a service that either you can have it for free on MailChimp and you will have to set it up there, and we'll need the little opt-in form, the code, or in Aweber. That's a paid one. Yeah.
Okay, very.
Okay.
I have MailerLite. It's free too.
Okay. So yeah, I'll need the little code. Okay, Donna, may I go to you and check in with you?
Sure.
Nurturing your destiny and bonuses and
Hello,
freebies and
everybody.
all the rest.
It's so nice to get caught up on what everybody's doing. My goodness, I feel like the underachiever here. Yeah, you're all doing great.
Donna's microsite is done,
Wonderful.
just so you know.
Pardon?
Underachiever. I'm just saying
Donna's.
your microsite is done.
You're not an
Yeah.
underachiever, Donna. Your microsite is done.
Yeah, and you've
Microsite is
already
done.
got stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I'm not doing anything with it though. That's the problem. That's a get the fire under the seat going. But
Maybe you don't
right
have the
now,
urgency that we do.
yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, well, I've got the bed and breakfast, so that's really the primary income earner. So, yeah, you're right. I don't have that burning desire, I guess, to create more business necessarily. But people are still coming to me, and that's good. In like little drips and drabs, and I take them on. whatever
Yeah, and
whatever they
that's
can
why
pay
that's
at the
why I'm
time.
saying nurturing your destiny, because you have a unique path that might be different of somebody else's, and you
Mhm.
know, that's what you want to do. And in fact, now it's the springtime in Chinese medicine. It's the wood element, and this is the time of the year where, if we're supposed to do what nature does, then yes, it's the time of growth and moving forward. But that moving forward and growth can look so different depending on who you are. So just to give you an example, how sometimes it's not that straightforward. My plan was to launch the 3 different levels of the GTR training, just like break it down and launch it that way, so it's more accessible for people. I think I wanted to do that back in February. Now, of course, when you launch something, number one, it takes so much more time than what you planned, even if you planned with that it's actually going to take more time. And number two, something unexpected happened, and that was that the platform that I'm on right now, ClickFunnels, it started to experience some glitches that I'm not liking, and it's becoming really outdated. Like, for example, there's no app for the phone where people can access the training. So when somebody opens it on their phone, sometimes it just looks ridiculous and they have to scroll half an hour to get to the videos. That's just ridiculous. Or if I want to, for example, set up a funnel where they buy the course, and then it leads them to, thank you, we received your order, now here you create your login details, and then eventually get to the training. Normally, you would think that it shouldn't be a problem that they can pay by credit card or by PayPal, not in ClickFunnels. I would have to create, I don't know, 6 separate ClickFunnels to get that going. Anyway, so I decided that it was time to finally switch to Kajabi. I was avoiding that for a long time because there were things I wasn't liking, especially design-wise. Okay, I figured things out so that it looks just the way I like it. But as I started transferring all the bits and pieces of the training, I realized, okay, this needs editing. This needs proofreading. It feels like every time I lift one stone, there are 2 more things to be done. So what I'm getting to is that, yes, the spring is a time of moving forward and growing, but the wood element is also about being very adaptable. It's kind of like a tree starts growing, and then there's a tree growing right next to it, so it has to find its way to grow the branches so that it can still reach the sun. And I don't know what that means for you, Donna, specifically, but that's the way to think about it. Not just like a logical, straightforward, I need to move forward and grow, but how do I grow considering who I am and what my situation is?
Yeah, I've taken advantage of the slowness, I guess, of the winter period, and it's just kind of starting now to break out. Reservations are coming in and that kind of a thing. But I've taken that time to review all the GTR stuff again. I
Yes,
think I've done
and
it 3 times now,
yes,
but I'm
and
always
just so you know, that new platform will be ready. I just don't know when, and that would be also a good time to review everything, because
yeah,
I'll be adding some new stuff in between just
yeah.
for better learning.
And
Yeah.
learning is a key part of who I am. I'm a perpetual student. I think I never graduated from university. I just kept going and going. Never know enough, right? Kind of person. So yeah, so I've been studying archetypes because I didn't know anything about them. So I thought, well, that'd be good to know.
Yeah. Yeah. So for now, the way you're nurturing your destiny is you're doing your B&B and perhaps connecting with people who might potentially need you in that respect. They still want to
Mhm.
talk to you, and you talk to them, educate them, and sometimes maybe work with them.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And have those
Oh,
conversations with my guests.
yes. Yes. And that's just as important, just so they know
Yeah.
there's hope if they have trauma and things related to it.
Mhm.
Right. Ladies, one more thing that I wanted to tell you, when it comes to the different workshops that Yanina's been doing, that we've been adding and will continue the next academic year. One of the reasons that those particular techniques are being added there is because you've noticed that a lot of them are happening on the face, like the cupping or the reflexology, and there'll be more. I wanted to just highlight something that is in the main training, but it's hidden in the notes, and that is that when it comes to trauma release, it's not just the ventral vagus. There are, I think, 12 of the cranial nerves, and the vagus nerve is just one of them. And what constitutes this social engagement system is the vagus nerve and some other nerves. Most of those other nerves are in the face and the head and the neck. And all of those other nerves are also intertwined with the vagus. Translated into simple English, whatever you do to relax the face, the head, and the neck also promotes trauma release and well-being. And therefore, the things like the cupping therapy, it's not just for beauty, although it does give you a natural facelift, but it really is healing. It promotes well-being. And with the facial cupping, I know there were some questions around that. You don't have to have the worries that one has with classic cupping, the one that leaves bruises, etc. I think Janina showed you just the glassy ones that look like bulbs. There are also silicone cups. They're like little cones, and they have a little less suction, and it's wonderful for the health of the face, and just the well-being of the head and face is crucial for overall well-being. So if you haven't dived into that yet, I highly encourage that. Any questions left unanswered or sharings left unsaid? All right, so it feels like a good place to wrap up. And next month, just so you know, Janina will be teaching you how to use Canva, how to present beautifully. And then the month after, we will be talking about copywriting. I think, Donna, that is your world. So
My world, yes.
I'll be looking forward to that. In the meantime, of course, you're more than welcome coming to the regular virtual office hours every week. Just know that the next week, Janina is doing the psoas muscle workshop, the same kind of thing she did with you. So you're welcome to that, of course, as well. All right. It's been a pleasure, and I'll be looking forward to talking to you very soon.
Thank
Bye-bye,
you.
ladies.
Bye, everybody.
I won't be on the class tomorrow. I'll be down at the hospital. So
Yes, good luck, Kathy.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Bye, ladies.
Great.
Bye. Thank
All
you
right,
so much.
bye.
Take care.
Bye, 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 bye.